Hello, Kathy. How are you doing?
I'm good.
And to heck with Kathy. How are y'all doing? My name's Molly.
Kathy.
This is Kathy.
We're
together. We're Linen and Scraps. I'm so excited today. I'm gonna.
We got some fun things. I think.
I
You're
do.
gonna be calm.
I'm gonna try. Okay.
Life is never calm.
Kathy has a doctor's appointment.
At
nothing
1.
too serious.
Yes.
Which we
to get the stitches out.
Thank God. She's got a story. Anyway, so we're going to get started. Today, Kathy brought over some things that y'all are going to die over. I mean,
I don't know if anyone's going to die over it, but I have to say, when this thing kept poking, whether it got caught, with the thread.
The stitches underneath
when you're
there.
stitching, it's like... But I have to say, I took the Band-Aid off, and the funny story is that I'm sitting there stitching on my Freyfest, which is white linen, and up pops this black thing through the linen. It never dawned on me it was the stitch, because the stitches are...
Look like a little bug leg.
It looked like a bug. It's like, oh, my butt went through the roof, and come to find out it was just my finger.
Yeah.
But all good.
So she's good. So anyway, we're gonna go through these.
Yeah.
And so Kathy's got some gorgeous things. Her handcrafts are just
I bought some. You know what, Molly? I have an extra one of these.
Oh my gosh.
I'll give you one.
So, is that for that bag?
Yes.
Okay, that's for one of the bags. Okay, anyway, and then I have some things, as y'all know, I have been diddle-a-dalling and not cross-stitching as much as I want to lately, but in looking for a Patriotic, I went through my WIP bags. Oh my God, I found some things I refell in love with.
Isn't it amazing?
How
It's
have
like,
I not done them?
There has been some awesome Patriotic designs out there, and I have to say, you really have to sift through them to pick. I know I'm going to do one big one, and commemorate the 250 and for me.
And I have found a couple of them that I like the top portion or the bottom portion of a big one, and that's going to be what it's be. Okay, Kathy, you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to start if you don't mind.
Yes, I want to hear your story. I heard there's a funny story coming out of Molly.
Funny, but anyway, so Kathy came over. Today is, if I'm not mistaken, Friday.
It's Friday.
Kathy came over Tuesday because I had a brain freeze, and I said, just come over for a second. I got to show you something. Get your opinion on it. Well, while she was over...
We could have done it over the fence, but when she got this brain freeze, it was 9:30 at night.
Oh, yes, it was dark.
It was so
anyway, so she comes over. When she comes over, she happened to notice what I was cross-stitching on, and she goes, oh, that's so pretty. I'm thinking, that girl is lying. You can't even see that house. So what I was working on... Well, wait, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, so this right here, Kathy, I can't see a thing. Am I showing this right?
Okay. Here's the pattern.
This was that free pattern that came out...
The paper thread.
It was the paper thread, but come to find out it was Needlework Press, is what I had told somebody to type in that. It's Needlework Press.
Actually, is it Real Comfort, Jane Austen tribute?
By Needlework Press. But it was posted on this website.
Oh, I see.
But it's posted on other websites, too. So I will have a link in this one. I did go back in the last video. I linked it in the last video. And all. But anyway, the moral to the story is they're showing it as if it's a red work, just red.
Right.
Okay. Oh, no. You know me. I got to have all these different colors and stuff. So I pulled a bunch of colors.
And they're beautiful.
They're just like a bunch of hues in there. Colors. And I love them. But anyway, so I did it. Well, when I did the house...
You're good.
It was ghosted. I'm talking ghosted. Well, Kathy and the rest of y'all would be like, well, I'll have to rip that out and start over. But me... What I did was I have these Inktense pencils that are watercolor pencils. They're watercolor pencils. So I took a water brush.
Hilarious.
So I took a water brush.
And
I just touched the water because it's permanent watercolor. If you watercolor and then if you apply heat to it, it's permanent.
Is that you're gonna put a link in there too, so we can all buy those?
I love them. But what I'm gonna do next is
can y'all see?
So I recolored the house so it was darker, and it was more olive green. Okay. And I say Inktense, INKTENSE or something, Inktense, like intensive ink, But anyway, but it's permanent watercolor.
I guess the kicker that sleaze me is I thought it was overdyed thread.
It looks like overdyed thread. The way I was tender with it, tender. Because I didn't want it to run into the windows or run into the borders or anything. Yeah. But it darkened it up for me wuthout me having to restitch it. Because this is like a 20-count fabric or something, so I am not doing that.
Now she's going to do windows, and she's picked the color for her windows.
So I told Kathy,
like kind of a light light khaki. Do you need something to
no
chew on over here? No, you're good.
So Kathy comes over today, and I said, well, even whether it was the original color or this new color that I dyed.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? But I watercolored it so it would look a little darker in place, a little lighter.
Right.
So it looked like overdyed thread.
It's hilarious.
But anyway, so I had pulled the color for the windows, and I said, Kathy, I don't like it. Kathy comes over, she looks at some of the stuff I have outside, she picks out a color, throws it. Perfect.
It's going to be perfect.
It's going to be perfect.
It's going to be perfect. Love
so
it.
that's my story today.
Well, we definitely need to find these pencils.
I have tried them on. No, I've stitched on Ada, but I have tried them on. Like I have dyed some Ada.
Yeah.
A color. It's beautiful. But then I will go back with these pens
and go over it
and kind of add some little colors, and it's pretty. It's
very cool.
Which brings me to just a quick aside. Excuse me. Yes. We've been looking at all the new patterns coming up from Market, which is like what, next week or so.
Yeah, next weekend I think.
Oh my God. And I keep wondering, I wish somebody would call us and say, come help me in the booth. But anyway, come help me in my room. I will run up there like a cat on the roof. Anyway, but some of the new fabric colors they're showing are a lot of really bright or some really dark colors. It's got me in the mood to dye again. We got to.
And I have a story about that.
Okay, because I'm ready to
some
dye
fabric
again.
that
But these Inktense pencils, it comes in blocks of color, or it comes in, I think, like watercolor palettes or something. I like the pencils.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I loved them, and it saved me from restitching this whole little house. So I did, after I put the olive-ish color over the house, so it would show up a little more, I did take that same olive color and just touch the roof. Doesn't it look like overdyed fabric? I mean, overdyed thread?
Pretty.
So I cheated. Okay.
Well, overdyed thread is overdyed thread. I mean,
and I was going to say they use the same kind of stuff. They use permanent color, you know.
Just a different media.
Okay. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
So that was that. Now, where did this? That goes with that.
That goes with that.
I got to try to keep.
We got to keep everything organized.
Okay. So.
Do I see St. Patty's?
Okay. You know, I had kind of not fallen out of love with, but I just was getting distracted with so many different commitments and things, and I want to cross stitch. It's so.
And then she wants to scrapbook and scrap.
Yeah, but anyway.
So
Kathy's coming over. We're going to film, and I'm thinking, well, let me go through all my projects and see. I know I've got some Patriotic in there. Patriotic, schmatriotic. I found some. No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't have a lot of Patriotic. Okay. Anyway, I did pull some things.
Well, that
are stuff I'm going to stitch. I cannot wait.
I actually saw a picture of this. I don't know if I took a picture of it when we filmed this one, but I love it.
This is from Fox and Rabbit.
Yep.
And let me tell you, Karen and Bren showed some of their new patterns. I don't know when they showed them, but I saw them last night. Dang rabbit!
I know. They're
so pretty.
It's so overwhelming. I actually
pretty.
put them in my cart, and I have so many in there that I don't buy any.
But some of theirs were
dang.
That Fox and Rabbit, and that new color of fabric they showed. I don't stitch on linen, but if I did,
pretty.
Okay. Anyway, more to the story. This is a Fox and Rabbit pattern, and it's long and thin, and it's called Pansies and Dandelions. And again, they show it just black on,
white,
whitish, one color fabric. Oh no, I've got to make my life way more complicated than that. So what I did...
I remember that.
Which I had forgotten. I knew I had this fabric and I couldn't find it. Well, of course, it was in my whip bag. Anyway, I hope y'all can see.
That's so pretty. You gotta finish that.
Pretty? That's what I said, and I love all the greens. Now, one thing I have to learn, Kathy, is I pick a color and I stitch, and then I pick another color. I hadn't gone back and marked on the card
got the key.
What the key is, so now I've got to go back and try to figure it out. But aren't those pretty? That's going to be pretty. And their patterns are just stunning. And didn't that look like a Celtic St. Patty's Day pattern? It does to me.
Yeah.
So all these, I love it. Okay, so that's something I found. Can't wait to get back into. Can I keep going? Or?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I got some finishes and just a couple
Now, y'all don't be jealous. Y'all all going to want this.
So, I remember when you were working on that, too.
This was...
She's so pretty.
This was Spirit of America Angel. It's by Brooke Nolan. Kathy says she thinks she's passed away. Oh, I'm so sorry. And I got this off of a magazine, I think. Where'd I get it from? I don't know. Anyway, but this is the pattern. Isn't she sweet? And if you can see from there, she's done on perforated paper. Well, I had never done perforated paper before. I had done perforated paper like 100 years ago, made some little Christmas earrings, or back in the, what would that be, the 80s? Or something?
Think Needlework Press has quite a few perforated
Here's a big
Paper
picture
patterns.
of her. But
Yeah.
isn't that pretty?
She's pretty.
And if you can see, this is separate pieces. Her wings are, behind her. It's like a 3D,
Yeah.
not 3D, but layered
Yeah.
piece. That's going to be real pretty. So I thought I could do that.
And she's
This
coming
is your brain on
along.
growth. So here she is. I better put something behind her because she's perforated paper. I wished I had finished her face before today so you can see her face is so sweet.
And it's got a
Now,
lot
she
of,
doesn't have her eyebrows on. She doesn't have her lipstick.
colors in it, if I remember.
That
when you
little
said-
pattern.
Yeah,
has
calls
this-
for
all those
Is that all
colors.
DMC?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So lucky me if I'm run out. But anyway, I cannot wait to get back to this. It was easy to stitch on perforated paper. I don't know
You
why I was
like
so
it. Some
scared.
people really like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Anyway, so I've got 2 pieces of that, and she's going to take most of one, and then her wings are going to
Sure.
take a good chunk of the
A
other.
good chunk of the other one. What is
Okay.
this little cute bag? Is that a thread book? Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
make that
Yeah, a long time ago.
a long time ago when we were doing
What
thread
she's
books?
talking about is,
Isn't that cute? Oh, yeah, I
yeah, it's
remember
just
that.
a little chipboard and felt and
I think we have a
batting.
tutorial on that.
Thing
Thread
with the
books.
little elastic. I love those. We do.
I think
Now
it's
you
out
make me
there.
I'm gonna have to post them.
Now you're going to have to post that
But
too.
I love those little thread books. Okay, so that was one.
Oh, my
You always think we want to save the
God.
best for last. Okay, so these are things that I found in my stash that I have absolutely refallen in love with. They are in no particular
So they're
order.
like in the high Q?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was teasing Kathy. I watched Sawbuck Stitcher last night, and she was showing a bunch of pretty things. And a lot of times she'll show things that
That she's
she either
been
hadn't
working
touched
on.
for a while or she's
Yeah.
been working on for a year. And she, like, I think part of my problem, Kathy, is lately I have been a monogamous stitcher. I don't like that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
I
like
want
to
to work
have
on 10 things or 15
two,
things.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what I need to get these back around me. And
And then you'll
Do it.
Well, you kind of forget what you got.
I did. Okay, this is
Do it.
not Americana. However, it almost could be.
I remember when you were working on her.
This
too.
is from Mojo
Stitches.
Stitches. Needlework
Among
Designs
the
and Delights.
Roses.
How you like that? And it's Among the Roses, an antique reproduction. Isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she gorgeous? And that makes me think of Kim, the contented
Contented stitcher.
needlework.
Yeah.
Contented stitcher,
Yeah.
contented needleworker. Anyway, because she does those
Yeah.
birds so pretty. But aren't the colors
Just beautiful.
just
colors.
beautiful? Just absolutely stunningly gorgeous colors.
Very
and this
rich.
is all I've gotten done.
But you got the red in there.
But that's what I said, and I
Yeah.
think, and
You
the
got
bird's
that
got
red.
just enough blue. I think I'm going to call that patriotic. It certainly will go with Americana.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to tell you, ladies and gents, I panicked because when I pulled it out,
You thought you screwed up.
I thought, what is this? I couldn't figure.
Which way it went.
It took me a long dang time because
Figure
I
out.
always start in the bottom left.
You got the rose
So
going
I thought
on.
I've screwed up. Oh my God.
Top left.
No, it's the top left.
Yeah. It's
But
pretty.
it
The
took me a-
colors
it
are
took me a minute.
gorgeous on this.
Isn't that
fabric,
pretty?
too, Yeah.
That's pretty. So that's one I can't wait to get into.
Very, very, very pretty.
And a lot of confetti.
Yeah.
But I
I
love-
have to say, I
I
think
love
that's
the look of that. So
Yeah.
you got to do it to get
you
the
got to
look.
do it to get the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now everybody stay calm. Okay, this I'm being silly. I'm sorry. Goldberg's Goldbirds. I'm gonna say it like it's the last name. Goldbirds sampler.
And that's by Twin Peaks. That's pretty.
That's very pretty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
How did I stop stitching on
I
this?
remember that one too.
I don't
Look
know
at
how I
that.
stopped stitching on this.
Gosh, and that's so pretty on that
Look
light
at the
color.
ribbon. Isn't
Yeah.
that pretty? And again, it's got enough red, white, and bluish,
Yeah.
gold colors.
That's gorgeous.
So, it is,
and here's her colors.
but even the flowers. I mean, I didn't make the pattern, so I can brag about it. I'm loving the colors and the, so it's not confetti work as much as the way she's
Yeah.
designed it. It's just so
Those birds
color
might have some
intense.
confetti in them. Goldbird sampler.
Yeah.
Twin
Anyway.
Peaks.
So, loving that.
Yep, very nice.
I gotta keep these things stacked or I'll never remember what goes with what. Okay, I'm gonna just show y'all this, but
gosh,
I'm
I
embarrassed.
remember that
I have not.
too, Molly. People really commented on that.
And this is another one.
Yeah.
And I got this far by just doing like 2 threads a day. So
Yeah.
why I stopped, I don't know. But this was that French
Isn't
alphabet
that
sampler.
gorgeous.
Oh,
Those
God, it's so
roses.
And speaking of colors, Kathy, when I die, put this in my casket with me. These are my colors. These are all my colors.
Look how pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
And you know what? The lime green, just enough poison. I had a friend that would say the off color or the one off is the poison of the pattern.
But isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Now, here's the bad news, good news.
Yeah.
This came from this book.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough book to get a hold of.
And it's a tough book to get a hold of.
Definitely secondary market.
But last
books.
year, not necessarily this year, but last year, a lot of designers did what are like French-looking alphabets and things, or these beautiful French flowers and all. But if you can get this book, this isn't the only pretty pattern in it. There is some gorgeous
15 abacadarias.
Abecedaries.
Flowers is flowers.
Okay. Anyway, stunning stuff. And so the name, I don't know who it's by. Hold on.
Creation Point de Croix.
Yes, Creation Point de Croix.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you
anyway,
know what? Let me hold that little. So if you guys want to screenshot that on the bottom there. And
then I'm going to just show off my bag.
Yeah.
One of our sweet fans. I say fans. I should say friends. Anyway, sent me this bag. Isn't it stunning?
That's so pretty.
It is, and it was perfect for this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. Let me put that back with that. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I got so excited. I hope I don't seem too ridiculously giddy. Okay, this was another one, much like the Bluebirds sampler. When I saw this,
that's a Twin
absolutely.
Peaks
I know. I like her stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I have on my walls is Twin
Peaks.
This is so pretty, and I'm gonna read it to you if I can even see it. A heart filled with love is like a phoenix that no one can cage or imprison. Isn't that beautiful? That no cage can imprison, excuse me.
It's very pretty.
And it's beautiful. So I picked out, they had it on a kind of soft gray color or something. So I found my material. Here's the colors. Just stunning.
Yeah.
And again, DMC, so how easy is that?
Yeah.
But because of her skill with creating patterns.
Did you get the border all done? The border?
I wanted to see how big it was.
Okay.
And if that big, isn't that pretty?
That deer.
But even look at the end at the bottom, how it's colored. So the way she designed it,
You wouldn't know it's DMC.
You would not know it's DMC. It's beautifully rich colors and all. So I can't wait to get back to this. Like when Kathy leaves, I got to sit down and stitch.
You got to stitch.
I got to stitch. Okay.
Oh, and I remember that one.
I fell out of love with this one. I don't know why. And I think it's because...
Are you back in love?
Yeah. I opened it this morning and it was like, I wished I had this in my hands right now because it's exactly how I feel.
You need a big basket right by your stitching chair.
I'm embarrassed to tell y'all. I went to the basket by my chair.
Yeah? Anything in there?
And Christmas.
Oh.
I hadn't switched it out yet, so it's that's how long it's... Is it March already? Almost. Anyway, this pattern is from JBW Designs, Bluebirds of Happiness. And it was the sweetest pattern.
And I think since then she's come out with the red one, the Cardinals.
But what happened to me was it took me about 5 tries before I got the blues I wanted.
Right.
I
remember you talking about that.
So the first ones, I don't care. Anyway, but again, have you noticed how much pink is in these things?
There's a lot of pink. But yet...
I'm not a pink person.
There's not a lot of pink in there. More blue. Pretty. But it's, again...
But anyway, so here's how far I am.
That's gorgeous.
So why am I not stitching on this?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's so pretty, Molly.
It is. And I feel happy right now. Yeah. But the Bluebird of Happiness always resides within you. And then, of course, it's got wrought by, and then it's her initials, but I'll put mine. And it's so pretty. This was from 2023. It's 2026 already.
I know. Where did it go? And we're already at the end of February.
I'm ashamed. I really am ashamed.
Now we got a Patriotic.
Now, this pattern right here has not been started.
But it's in the pile to be started.
And the next couple I'm going to show you, and then we're going to turn over to Kathy. Have not been started, but they're going to be started.
Are these basically Patriotics?
Hold on, I'll tell you. No. Oh, yes.
Very cool.
I tell you, they're all Patriotic. Okay. Teresa Colbert is just...
I know, she always knocks it out
of
the park.
She stood in line 3 or 4 times when God said, let me have the people who want talent over here. She must have got in line 4 times because that girl is talented. These are the colors.
Yep.
Very pretty. I'm going to need to check my stitch counts or something to make sure I have enough of those colors before I start.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's only 85 by 70.
So you'd probably be fine.
75, I'll probably be fine. Looking at it, it looks big. But isn't that cute? Now, this pattern is a couple of years old.
Yeah.
May 23. Okay, what happened between me and 23 and 26? Of course.
Life.
Yeah, a couple of, I was sick of hospitals, I'm telling you that.
Yep.
But
life.
anyway.
Very pretty.
I'm going to love this. And it looks like it's going to be easy breezy.
Yeah, I think once you get going on that basket.
And look how, I was just about to say, isn't that basket darling? And one of the things I noticed is almost every patriotic pattern I have, this might be in every patriotic
What are you
pattern
going to stitch that on there, Molly?
A piece of material.
Well, let's see.
Have
it.
1776 highlighted pretty well.
I like
So
that.
it's like they're all going to fit in so well with this year. So I got to bust
I
a
like
move.
the fabric.
And what do you think it is, you ask? It is
You got Ada here.
vintage country mocha,
Okay.
14 count vintage country mocha. Trying to use up some of my 14 count. If I had it to do over again, I would twinkle my nose and turn that into 18. Yeah. But, yeah, what you gonna do?
Live and learn.
Live and learn.
And this one
There's another Teresa
Teresa
Koger.
Koger.
It's not patriotic, but it kind of is, if that makes any sense. It's I've seen this finished from a couple of people.
you could make that patriotic,
I
especially
think
with
so.
the cherries.
I think so.
Cherry Jubilee.
And quite honestly, Kathy, you see their little tan heads?
Yep.
They may have blue heads by the time I get there.
Could be.
You know, or a blue band or
Could
something.
be. Or even in the tails and the wings.
That's what I'm thinking, just a little blue, just a little blue. Anyway, it's Cherry Jubilee by Teresa Koger. It was a Patreon years ago. Of course, it was available now for sale to everybody. The bird who dares to fly is the bird who learns... Wait, the bird who dares to fall is the bird who learns to fly. And that is, you know,
So
thank
true.
God our forefathers had and mothers had the courage to fly. But anyway, so it's a beautiful pattern. But if you can see all the beige in the head and wings and tail, that's where I'm thinking to myself,
Wherever there's
throw
black,
throw a
you could do
little blue, throw a
Yeah.
little blue in there, and it will be
Yeah.
just Americana enough to make me happy. And this is lamb's wool material that I pulled out.
I think that'll be perfect for that.
And
And these are your colors.
I mean, I don't mean to sound silly, but it looks just like the picture.
Look at those pretty colors on that
And just,
linen.
I'm going to throw some blue in. That's what
Yeah.
Teresa, you're a fabulous designer, but I'm going to throw some blue in.
I would throw some blue. Even maybe the leaves could be more of a greeny blue.
Maybe so.
You know?
But I want royal or...
Oh,
I
you
want
want it to really stand out.
Americana. Yeah. In my head, that's what I want. Okay, now these, not only are they not started, they're not even kitted. But I'm telling you all about them because I
But
want to challenge myself. Because,
They're nice patterns, though.
So we were talking earlier about fabric.
Right. Oh, yeah.
There have been some stunning, stunning dark fabrics created this last year. One of them is that dadgum Christmas pattern, again by Teresa Koger.
Which one?
That's got the Santa with the smoking.
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I have the stocking.
The stocking.
Yeah.
That color of fabric. Who is that by?
Teresa Colgan. Oh, the fabric is
Somebody.
Elizabeth Toledo from Dames of the Needle.
Dames
Top
of the
hat.
Needle. That is a stunning
It's perfect.
color.
It is.
And
If
then
you can get your hands on Top Hat from Dames of the Needle, Elizabeth Toledo, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yum. This color I'm about to show you is
Get
not
it.
that color. That color has gray brown to me or something.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
delicious
It's
color.
pretty.
Anyway, but I'm seeing a lot of patterns on those kind of gray brown,
Yeah.
colors. So anyway, this pattern is from, me and my magazines and digital copies and all. It's from Just Cross Stitch, August 2003. But when I bought the, like it's a 20-year span and there's things you get all the patterns and all. Look at the color of the fabric.
I think that
Look at the color.
I think Blackbird. I think they came out with a book. Came out with a book that has that in. I could be wrong. I didn't know you were going to show that, so I didn't dig through it. But sampler Blackbird design, old-fashioned look, interpreted for today's world with hand-dyed flosses against a dark background.
Because this was in a magazine.
It could
She
be in
could
the
have
book,
come out with a book.
Yeah.
But designed by Barb Adam and all.
Very cool
Anyway,
design.
Summer Jubilee. But oh my God,
I've seen that stitched, and I've seen people restitch it because they haven't liked the start. For the colors, either they don't pop enough on the linen, so you have to really kind of be picky choosy on that linen.
Well, the beautiful thing about what they've done here on this pattern, there is no, like if you had that dark gray fabric or something, there's no color that's everything in the pattern is contrast enough.
Sure.
You know, so it's not. You know, some.
So you
things
might
do
have to.
be careful.
You might have to.
But I can't wait to bag this puppy up and be going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to dye the fabric. I say that like.
Because I have something to show about that dyed fabric.
But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, why I haven't done this pattern.
I know, it's easy peasy. Look at those
this would take me
sunflowers.
like 2 nights or something.
What's that by?
Pinker and Punkin.
Oh, gosh.
If you're
I
not.
love that one.
And the
How
lady
good
who
is
is Pinker
that?
and Punkin, her blog is just the sweetest thing. You know, here I am using pencils to recolor something. This girl, everything around her house is handmade, handcrafted quilts, jams. I mean, it's just, she's so talented. But she has a boatload, I'll say that,
freebies.
of free patterns that if you're not aware of Pinker and Punkin, you need to be. But this was one of her patterns. I had pulled it down several years back. And it's 1776. Isn't that
I
cute?
gotta look for
and
that.
I like flags and bunting and, you know,
Sunflowers.
pennies
It's
and
summer.
Yeah.
It's July, August.
So,
Getting into that neck of the woods.
what stopped me?
Yeah,
and
what
this is
stopped you?
At the time, I was doing several Patriotic, which are hanging all around my house right now. But all my threads were pretty much used, and I am not going to buy new colors of DMC that I know are in those. Well, now I could.
Yeah,
I could kit it
you
up.
can spend $100 on overdye in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and I had reds in every kit. I had blues in every kit, greens in every kit.
Yeah.
So now I can kit it up.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking. Okay, speaking of books.
Yeah, that's a nice book.
Sweet Land of Liberty by Blackbird Design. When Kathy first got me started back into cross stitch, this was one of the first books I bought, and
That's
Blackbird.
a neat book.
And while there's a lot of new beautiful patterns out,
but you go back to some of those oldies
Those two
are
gals.
golden. It's like,
these two
how
gals.
did I not stitch that?
They
And
knew
why
what they
am
were
I
doing.
not working on that now?
So this one is the one I have done, and he's
I did that
hanging,
one
he's
too.
hanging in my living room right now. I don't think he's back on the wall. I think he's because I've already started hanging all
Moving
kind of
around.
stuff and patriotic-ish into the living room.
Yeah. I also
but
did. I think is
I've
that,
kitted up this one.
yeah. That's a pin cushion, right?
Well,
It's got a cool pin on it. I have the exact pin. Yep. I have the exact pin. Got it off of Etsy. I gotta find that pin cushion.
And this pattern is
wonder
pretty,
where that
but
is.
I'm scared.
I like it.
I'm
I bought
scared.
it when it was an exclusive kit, and I've seen it done. It's very cool done.
So the moral to the story is, if you're looking for patriotic, this is pretty dang
The thing
good.
is with this one,
And look on the back.
it's like a little girl pulled all her favorite red, white, and blue colors,
Isn't it?
and it just
That would be me.
it's like, how can you not have that? Anyway, here's the back.
But isn't that one even precious?
Yeah,
That is precious.
1776. But yeah, this has been real popular. I think I bought that as a leaflet. This I had bought it as a kit. This was a leaflet, and like I said, this pin up here in the corner, you can sometimes get that pin on Etsy. If you Google lens it, sometimes it'll show up.
Okay, but that book is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I went to kit this up, you see the one color I had.
You have one
But I
color?
know, my hand to God, I know I have wood truck.
you have all of them,
I have
yeah.
all of them. I have all of them. Just have to find them. You know?
gotta find
So I can't wait to get this started. Now this pattern, Kathy, I'm just going to go
Plum
ahead.
Street. Yeah.
Okay, if that's okay.
Finish up.
I'm so close to finished. Okay, I'm going to show you this one in a minute. I bought this pattern. I love this pattern when I bought it. And the minute I went to pull threads and stuff, I'm like, I don't like that color of that sheep.
Oh, it's very great.
It's very great. And he's on a little black
Very great.
wagon. I'm
What
gonna
if
have
you
to,
switch the sheep and the horse?
No, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know
Make
what I'm
the
going to
horse
do. But I'm
gray
going to
and the
ask her
sheep.
to help me pull fabric. But anyway, the moral to the story, it's a Plum Street sampler.
It's very cute.
And it's darling. I love the horse. I love the sheep. I love the pattern. I'm going to have to do something different with the colors.
We can play.
I got to
That's also
some.
1776.
And it said 1776. So as I said, I got to get going.
Yeah.
Okay. I only have, what do I have? Oh, 2 more. And then I have something to show y'all. I'm going to show them my bags.
Yes.
Okay. These 2 patterns, again, came out of magazines, but they're available in the world. This one is Chocolate Bunny by Teresa Kogut. Look at the color of the fabric. Can we do that?
Yeah.
I think we can. But
With
Chocolate
some
Bunny,
variation in it.
again, on that dark fabric.
We got to dye fabric.
We got to dye fabric.
pull it, get my whites together,
And for some reason, I'm thinking you're going on a trip or something. You're just going to the doctor's.
just go to the doctor.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like I'm losing her for 2 weeks or anything, or 5 months like in the fall. Anyway, but isn't that a darling pattern?
Yeah, it's cute. Cute for a.
I love it.
Either a picture on the wall or a pillow. Or just like it's framed.
Okay, it's 81 by 54 on.
It's not bad.
What is the size of fabric? I don't know.
Finish size is 5 3 by 5 3.5. Doesn't.
So I don't know what size fabric, but it's they stitch on little. They all stitch on little linens and all. But first we got to have a dyeing day.
Yeah.
A dyeing day. Okay, and then this next pack, but this was from
Teresa Colgate. It's a magazine.
Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine from 2020.
Spring.
So that's new compared to some of the things I've
It's only 4 years old.
But isn't she sweet?
Old?
But the little pastel colors on that brown.
Yeah.
They're just dark. Okay. And then, I said I only had 2 more. Now I have just 2 more. This pattern is Spring Bunny Pin Keep by Esther Marjanovic from Sub Rosa Design.
She's got some neat patterns.
It was from a magazine.
Sub Rosa, she's got a lot of hers on Etsy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys are looking for Sub Rosa patterns, she has some very primitive.
Speaking of primitive, look at that rabbit.
Yeah, he's funny.
I love him.
He's funny.
We got a name. It's
He's
like
got
we're going to call him Earl or something.
The whiskers on him are need to be shaved.
So this is Spring Bunny Pin Keep.
Esther
Marjanovic.
Copyright 2021.
But again, it was in one of my digital magazines. But is he darling? I can't wait to do him. And then last but not least, and you're going to help me change the colors up on this.
Busy Bees Stop and Smell Roses.
Dadgum, it's a Twin Peak primitive.
See? You do like her.
Okay. I love
and they're
her
from
stuff.
Holland. We talked about that.
I think
Holland.
so.
I think you should go to Holland and visit her.
But I need Kathy to help me with the colors. It's Even Busy Bees. Even Busy Bees, Stop and Smell the Roses. I need to hear that.
I know. We do need to stop and smell the
Isn't
roses.
that a sweet pattern?
Yeah.
And what she did with the colors, perfect.
Yeah.
It's not my colors, so I'm going to
change those up.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to gold them up or blue them up or
I think
pink
once you
them
pick
up
the
or something.
rose, you can kind of go from there.
And once I pick the rose. And the fabric. I'm not going to do it on a blue-gray fabric, I can tell you. It's going to be on a vintage mocha. I mean, it's going to be on something. I don't know what it's going to be on. But,
speaking of colors, if
it.
you haven't seen the latest Flosstube from the Artsy Housewife, I've loved her patterns to begin with, but she has got some dynamite patterns going to Nashville. Talk about colors. Plums, purples, oranges, lime greens. In fact, there was a reel, someone had done a reel on mallard duck, or no, not a mallard duck, a special kind of a duck that had every one of those colors in it. I tagged her on it, she responded. They're like, it was totally up her alley.
Oh my gosh.
And she's been doing a few animals. She did the bear and the bun. And
her and Robin Pickens, I think, is the one who does those bird samples. I'm pointing up to my wall. Yeah. Their colors. If you're not in a good mood, just do one of those.
The Artsy Housewife colors are just stunning.
And they will
and
put you in a good mood.
her significant other also designs and stitches. I think his name is Boom. Just funny as all heck to see the two of them together. But I gotta tell you,
his name is Boom.
Yeah,
that's what I think I'm gonna call that buddy. Boom the buddy. Boom the buddy.
You gotta watch the latest Artsy Housewife. It's very cool.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Very cool.
I did watch Lindsay Stitches.
Yeah.
That sweet little girl's name, Stephanie. I think. I don't know what her name is. But her husband did one of the preview videos.
Oh,
he was hilarious.
It was funny.
He was hilarious. You have to see it. I can't even begin to describe it.
Funny.
Okay, so one of the things I got distracted on because I had 2 or 3 people ask me, "Mommy, are you going to make the project bags again?" And my attention span is like a cocker spaniel. I'm like, oh, So I thought, well, let me make some more.
Cooper. I have a cocker spaniel.
I am just like Cooper.
It's really solid. Any treat I can give him.
But anyway, sorry about that, Cooper. Yeah, I love Cooper.
What's your
But anyway, the
name?
moral to the story is my attention span's short. And I go from thing to thing. But anyway, so I thought, well, let me make some project bags because I need some. People are asking for them.
They are, and they're very cute.
So,
now where are you going to have these for sale
on my Etsy store, which is Crafting with Molly. and I'll put a link in the video, but I got to get these pictures taken and up on the Etsy store. So, you know, anyway, so what I've done was some, I hope this is showing right. It's like backwards on the phone, but it's right side. I hope. We'll see. Anyway, USA. And it looks like actual embroidery, you know, like punch needle almost.
You get the idea.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
And wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. I'm going to go through them fast. And then there's a flag. And then there's another one that looks like embroidered,
yeah,
you know, like varsity letters. And then there's things like 1776. So pretty. Kathy's favorite.
This is my favorite. It's
Look at that, how pretty. And it's
a vinyl.
And I told Kathy, I threw Coke on it, I threw water on it, I spit on some of them. I didn't spit on these, don't let me get you wrong. But I was trying to do anything I could to
get it off.
I cannot get the colors to run. So I haven't tried alcohol. You know.
Yeah, well, who puts alcohol?
Well, I'm hoping nobody, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So, aren't they pretty? And they're the 13.5 by 9.5 inch zipper bags I use and love. I love this one.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. And then this one,
I like that one.
Land of the Free, Because of the Brave. Isn't that pretty?
I like that one.
And this is Earl. We'll call Boom the Bunny, and this is Earl. Okay. Earl the Eagle.
Earl the Eagle. Oh, that's cute.
Isn't he cute? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I started playing around with trying to do cross-stitch looks or cross-stitch sayings or something. I'm having a blast doing these. This is proof I can stab something 1,000 times and enjoy it. And I just did a pincushion on it. Isn't that cute? I like it. Okay, and then here's one of I found this watercolor artwork, fell in love with it, so I put Stitching Men's The Soul on it. Oh my God, isn't that pretty? Yeah. Okay, and then this pattern I made, it's not stuck to the bag yet, you know, because I don't know if this, Kathy said it's okay on the gray. So
I like the gray.
But
you can tuck a little orange ribbon on there
my
and
soul
it'd be cute.
I think so.
Yeah,
a little charm.
be really cute.
You know, some crystal
Where's
beads
Where's the Easter and the...
I don't know. You took them.
No, I didn't. I gave them back. I didn't thief them.
Oh, here they are.
These are my
Kathy's got an order. Kathy bought some the other day from me, and she's got an order in for these.
These two. Okay. Oh, okay.
But anyway, look how pretty this is.
Yeah.
My soul is fed with needle and thread.
Yeah.
Now, ladybugs, gentlemen, if y'all want table things, or you want to say, or you want them on canvas,
or if you're going to a retreat,
I have learned how. I can make any design you want, just about. But anyway,
and want a table gift.
So 1776,
I like that one.
Isn't that beautiful?
See, I had that one set aside. And I don't know about you, but I have been feeling so good since the men and women's hockey took gold. And I gotta say that last 5 minutes, we sat and we watched church in the morning, and it was like we just caught that overtime, and it's like, and everyone's it was such a feel good.
Oh yeah, I was
moment.
with them. I was with them.
Yeah. Such a feel good.
I was with the men
and
the women.
Way to go, Team USA all the way around.
Team all the way across.
But,
anyway, so feeling patriotic.
Very patriotic.
Anyway, but I've been having fun doing stuff.
Yeah,
so this one I did for Easter, and Kathy pulled it aside, and it says, "He is not here; he is risen," and it's Matthew 28:6.
Yeah.
But the moral to the story is I'm having fun. I did pull some. Some Easter things or spring things that are sweet, pretty bunnies and sweet, pretty things. And
Easter kind of gets lost a little bit here between, especially with the 250 celebration coming up. I have to tell you guys, you're going to have to wait a little bit, but I found my sampler.
Oh.
My 250. My 250 celebration. I'm going to show what I'm going to do. But like I said, not doing a whole lot of stitching, but some because of the finger issue and what have you. But I have been working on Freyfest, and this is a design by, I don't have to find the design, the cover, I hid it because here it is.
Wow, how lucky was that?
Yeah. So that's by the Wishing Thorn Birgette, and I am stitching this on cream, that's Aspen. Well, of course I'm not going to be able to find it. I'll have to put it in the notes. Oh, here it is. I'm stitching this on Fiber on a Whim, Cream and Sugar.
Oh, what a cute name.
Isn't it? It's a cute name, and
but you will notice on here how ghosty pattern that is.
It's very ghosty.
So
this is how far I've gotten on that, and it's going to be very lacy looking. And I'm stitching that with Vicki Clayton silk, and I think it was called X Herald. I'll have it here in a minute. I'll pull it out, but hopefully you can see there's more brown in there. But I'm almost done with that border.
Oh, stunning.
And then I knew I had a frame for it. And I'm going to have this cut down, but this is going to be my frame for it. I think it'll be really pretty.
Oh, it's going to be stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
All that white work in there.
And for just a minute, you were worried about the color.
I was. But, and you know what? Sometimes you have to keep going. Mm-hmm. You just got to keep going on it. Sometimes you just got to say, nope, I'm going to keep going. I'll have to have it cut down, but I think it'll be really pretty in that frame. So that's Freyfest by Birgit from the Wishing Thorn. And let me just see if I've got I don't have the thread there, but I have the thread somewhere. Okay, moving on. Then we talked for a second about Easter. So I had finished this little pouch with this lamb. Molly wants it. I know.
I said, he is so cute.
Molly wants the lamb. Then I finished eggs. And these are the shepherd bush mini bags and bag designs. I had done a couple that said stitch and forget what the other ones were. Do you remember them?
I know I asked you this before. Are you unsewing those bags or are you just reaching in and stitching?
I'm reaching in.
Okay.
Which is kind of a pain.
I cannot even fathom doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a pain.
Ugh.
But it's nice because you're only stitching with that thick thread. Now, I got to be honest with you. I did not buy the 5s, the Pro Cotton 5s.
Uh-huh.
Used what I had. What I had, it is what it is. That and that. But the cool thing then, too, is do you guys remember this? I made it into a project bag. And I didn't even have to put a zipper in it because it's got enough room here.
So was this a tea towel or something?
Tea towel.
Oh my god.
From Marmalade Mercantile. And those are my needle minders that I made in my glass fusing class.
Which we have got to find somebody in El Paso, Texas.
Is that not the cutest tea towel you've ever seen?
And look at your pen, the pansy pen.
Yeah, the pansy pen, I just stuck that in the middle.
Oh, for God's sake.
So did that one. So that's my Easter collection. And that's why I need this bag. Because it's going to go perfect in there. I do too. I like that in there. Then I was like, okay, finished one bag. Let's do another. So, and look, I have the ones that I bought from Molly already. My cow one. And my,
oh, good Lord.
my cow says moo. It says moo on my little chain. Isn't that cute?
That is precious.
So if you like farm
and
chicken.
she has farm charms.
Farm charms. Oh yeah, there's a rooster and a cowboy. We don't have cowboys and farmers, but we have the farmer pants, the barn, and then the rooster. It says moo. So yeah, that was, and I lined it. You know what? I'm going to tell you how long I've been married. Do you want to know how long I've been married?
How long have you been married?
Let me tell you why. My husband asked me if the stripes match.
Oh,
he went in my bag and said, "Do the stripes match?" Boy. That's how long I've been married. The guy knows me way too well.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was a fun bag, and I did the box. I love project bags. I kind of hate making them, though.
Where did you find the yellow bell?
Isn't that a store? Isn't that a riot?
That's a riot.
My sister Karen gave me the yellow bell with this, and it actually had a little flower and a seam ripper on it. But
I have some of these wooden letters.
Yeah.
I have fall and Christmas colored beads.
But you don't have moo?
Well, I got letters. I can have moo.
I love project bags. Kind of hate making them, but I do have to say they're fun. Yep. Again, the box bottom line, and yes, the stripes match. Hubby. That's how long I've been married. Then, do y'all remember me coming home with this ginormous panel, which is probably a needlepoint canvas for a piano bench? And I said to Molly, I'm going to make a project. So I did. And it actually turned, I got a piece of hair. It actually turned out pretty cute. And I did the box bottom. But I also lined it with an old vintage not tapestry, but an old vintage...
a damask.
Yeah, fabric. So, kind of cute. It matches well. Ta-da!
Oh my God, Kathy.
And I'm like, I don't care. This would have been just sitting, in somebody's junk pile, and I thought, I'm just gonna make a bag. And I'm going to use it and love it, and I don't care what happens to it.
And she washed it.
I washed it. Had a little bit of an odor to it, but over time that'll go away. I put some.
But I'm so glad you had the courage to wash it, because that's wool yarn.
I washed it in just again. I didn't use the color catcher on this, but I just did the tiny bit of soap with cool water, and it hung outside. I had to do the warp and the weft thing. I had to pull it on the angle. Really, really tug it. Now, if I would have told my husband come down and pull this, he would have been
whoa.
Not happening.
No.
Been married to you a long time, and I ain't doing that. But it worked. It came out good. I'm very happy with it.
I am. My gosh, that's gorgeous, Kat.
So that's that. Now I did want to talk about a couple things that I purchased, and then I want to tell you my cool pattern. A lady asked me about this design, red, white, and blue, on our last Flosstube. I had showed this. This is Crossford Rise Stitchery. She wanted to know which one it was. And then I'm going to hold it up there a little bit. I got it at the attic. So that's that. Then, in my cow bag that I made, this is going to be the project I'm going to put in there, probably along with some other patriotic projects. And this is by Quaint Rose Needle Art. She's another designer that I really, if you like the fun, funky kind of thing. Now, quickly, I bought this at Jingle Ball this last December. I know this has been out a while, and I'm a little bit confused as how it was out there in Jingle Ball. So, you know, Molly and I were tossing back and forth here about fabric. And I'm digging through my stash, and I think fabric, if you find fabric you like, I think you ought to buy it. I think you should buy it. I think that everybody's dying fabric. Trickling in our little indications, fabrics are kind of short this year. And I don't know if it's just because Nashville or if they can or cannot get it. But anyway, I had a hunk, and Molly and I'm digging, and I'm digging. I'm like, not all my fabrics are marked, but I'm like, oh, this is a really cool piece. Who is this by? This is by me and Molly. So when I showed it to Molly, and it's a very cool piece, and I think it's going to be perfect.
How are we going to get all those wrinkles out of there?
I'll get it out.
Okay.
I'll get it out. And even if it doesn't come out, I kind of like it. But I'm going to stitch the blue flower pincushion on that one and really do it very, very Christmassy. I'm going to add the greens at the top and the bells around. And
because the designers are good at what they do.
Yeah.
But I think that scene on this color is going to be so much more impactful than on that
very
soft
cool
blue.
color. So I'm going to pull color. And I think there's a lot of DMC.
Those are quirky little trees, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone else just finished it. It's like, oh, I got to pull that out.
This is stunning, Kat.
I know. And
we didn't write down recipes.
I'm looking, and I'm like, dang, that's a really cool fabric. Because I think and I pulled it out. It's one me and Molly did. We played one day. It was fun.
I get to look, Kathy goes, what color? I'm like, I don't know, let's try. And we just play. Because,
Then I wanted
to she had a chunk of this linen. It was like 40 feet by 40 feet or something. Yeah. It was big.
Leslie Davis on Stash Unloading had these.
Oh, you got one.
I did.
I saw them and
I think they're really cute. I'm sure she'll have more.
I don't know why I thought they were for pre-order for everybody.
No, you could buy. Well, yeah. She may have ran out, and then
because there's this style and another style.
It's what's her name? It's
Lori Holt.
Lori Holt. So
Riley
probably
Blake.
Fat Quarter Shop has them.
They did, but I swear they were on pre-order.
And then I found my linen thread. So this is Vicki Clayton Silk. Oh, Exhale is the name of my thread, and you can kind of see the brown in there. Brown grays. It looks like a little bit of a snowstorm. So that's that. Then I found a new place to order fabric from. And before I share my ta-da of what I'm going to stitch. This is from Shabby Fabrics. And she throws in a free pattern as well as a pen. But I found, and like I said, I'm in total patriotic mode here. I found this fabric. Gosh. Is that not perfect?
That is stunning.
It is the flag. It is Declaration of Independence. It looks like Pennsylvania. Yeah, the eagle. Ben Franklin, the ladies' man. Ben Franklin's on there. To me, it just, so I bought a yard of it. Shabby fabric, and she had some other beautiful.
This is for her.
Yeah, other beautiful patriotic designs too. Paul Revere's on here. Project bag.
Oh my God!
I think it needs to be something bigger because you want to be able to see the.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You want to be able to see the.
Well, you've kind of set the bar high on project bags with these big old things.
I think. Well, and I don't mind a big because you can store in all my patriotic. I don't care. It's more storage because looking pretty when you store.
Because Kathy, even these vinyl bags, and I know a lot of people don't want to put them in vinyl, these plastic bags.
Yeah.
But I buy the bigger sizes, and like at Christmas, I may only have 5 totes, but these are all this style. These,
exactly.
So inside of them,
so I don't care.
5 or 6
things.
Things,
I don't care if they're big. I'm gonna stash them in there. Mm-hmm. Now, we all know plenty of patterns, a plethora of patterns for $250. I prefer a little bit more primitive. I like the fun and funky. I like the bright colors and the country. I'm all about that. But when it comes to my samplers, so I saw online, I've actually reached out to Vicki and Megan are the 2 designers for Needlework Press. And one is darker than the other. She sent me Harriet, and it's in the prep, Harriet Jewett, 1825. Now, I will have to tell you that what's so cool about this is there's some history on her and some personal history of how they acquired the actual antique sampler. But what's on this are all the states here that were in the Union in 1825. So it's very historical in the sense of that when this gal stitched it, that these states were represented in her mind. But look how cute she put the hearts, the weeping willow tree. How many people? I've always attributed a weeping willow to bereavement. There's bereavement samplers with weeping willows on. What men and women did and gave to us for our country to be free the way they were. I think that's a great motif for that. It kind of pulls it together. The hearts. It's a sampler. It's got your numbers. And I'm so sorry for the bleached out. I'm actually getting the original when I head out to the attic, but she's got a picture of the antique on the back. And what she did give you then, because these are identified as 1825, she does give you the option to put 1825 and 2025 underneath the basket. So can you see the basket there?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so this is the picture I'm looking at is not the original sampler.
No,
it's the
original sampler is this.
Did you notice the S on the states?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
The S is backwards.
It's backwards, and that happens sometimes. Mm-hmm. The other thing I want to point out on this,
I love that,
is the verse. And there's something about back then, poems, verses were cherished so much more. Maybe because they had some time on their hands than what we do today. We don't tend to look at verses or poems. I think samplers identify themselves many times with a verse, but this verse on here is just beautiful. It says, "When we devote our youth to God, 'tis pleasing in His eyes. A flower that's offered in the bud is no vain sacrifice." Now it says the verse is attributed to a painter and author, William Powell Firth, 1819, died in 1901. Some attribute it to Sir Isaac Watts, whose verses also appear in samplers. However, it has not been found in his original writings. The verse was published in the Boston Sunday School Hymn Book. I thought that was fascinating. Mm-hmm. And she also noted, if you can't see it on here, but underneath this heart is the word Turk. They think it could be the dog's name. There's a dog on there.
Oh, how sweet.
Turk. To me, it's just, it was like when I saw it, I was like, Vicki, this is the sampler that I'm going to do for $250.
Are you doing these colors?
I pulled the colors, and here
So you pulled the called for colors?
I'm missing 2.
They look way better in person. I'm sorry.
Because it's light. I think it's so bleached out.
Yeah,
And what I think I'm going to stitch it on, I brought over Confederate Gray, and I brought over Weeks Aspen. And they're very similar, especially on the screen, but I think I'm going to go with the Aspen because it's got a little bit more blue in it, a little bit more blue cast. The only thing that I might do is I might darken up more of a true red instead of the edge of the pink. But I was fascinated by it. Great job, Vicki and Megan.
Oh my gosh.
I absolutely love this sampler. And to me, it just...
Not only great job, those
Vicki
pair,
and Megan. Mhm.
Vicki and Megan. Whoever was the young lady that stitched this, I so
Jewett?
admire her.
Harriet Jewett, 1825.
The stitching is fabulous.
Yeah.
The design is fabulous.
And
Oh my
that's
gosh.
Needlework Press. I know this is going to Nashville, and the Attic will have it, as I'm sure others. But to me, it's like, you know, I've been talking about a primitive looking sampler, and like I said, the only thing I might do is change up the red
When
a
I
little
looked at this, the colors were pretty pastel looking.
Yeah.
Which, pretty, but these colors are stunning.
bit. Yeah, very.
And if you bring in a little bit more berry red,
a little bit more of a red, a little bit
that's,
more red.
oh my gosh.
On this linen. Another linen might respond to these colors beautifully.
What's the count on that linen?
This is 36.
That's so little. Look
Yeah,
at that,
36.
So this is one of those things that could not probably be done on 18 because you got a
lot of over one.
lot over one.
There's a lot of over one. The states on the right hand side over here are over one, and the verse is over one.
Yeah.
So you got
Okay. There you
But
go.
I love over one on tiny count.
Well, that's pieces.
I'm so excited to get that
I'm
going.
so
I was
glad
hoping
they
to get a
created
bite out of it, but I'll wait till the finger comes off and the little creepy things don't. Little bumps don't crawl in the linen. Other one, somebody asked what I stitch with. I get my magnifying glasses out at the Attic. There's not a name per se, but if you ask them for of course the 6 works for me. You gotta try them. I mean, you can go to Walgreens and they've got I think the top is maybe $3.50 at a Walgreens.
It's a manicure.
But the 6 works really, really well for me. And I don't use a magnifying light. I use the light, but not the actual magnifier within the light. But I do 6s, yeah, when I stitch.
Jeez.
Yeah, getting old. Been married a long time.
That's so funny.
So,
Do you
and
strike
then
pants?
that is it. I don't have anything else.
Well,
But wasn't that fun?
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to sit and cross
I cannot wait to get on this sampler. And the cool thing is I'll be going out to the Attic soon. We haven't picked a date, but I'm going to take this with. Because I can start on the alphabet. There's some specialty stitches in here. There's a sawtooth border, which I love.
I love that border.
And sawtooth borders go fast.
Are they satin?
Satin stitch. So you I typically do those last.
Uh-huh.
So I felt sorry for the girl. I think she was stitching on I don't know what design it was, but her borders didn't meet.
Oh no.
She's all the way around. I used to do that too. I'd be like, let's go all the way around this border. But I have learned that if you stitch and then border, stitch, add borders, you have something to mark your place. I have found that to be really helpful.
And even that little pattern that I'm doing with that comfort, at home.
Yep.
I'm gonna make this up, doesn't really matter. But I'm just saying it was like 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. Whoa!
Oh yeah.
If I had not have looked up right then,
one that would have been
and
off.
have just gone ahead,
Yep.
I would not have matched, and that
Yep.
would have. But it was only because I was like, I'm doing the border, doing here, doing the border, doing here.
Yeah.
So I'm making sure I'm
You're
double checking
coordinating
myself.
with-
Yeah.
Now Freyfest by the Wishing Thorn. That one, the border it has quite a bit of long stitch in it. So and then there's cross. So to make the snowflake, you have this big cross, and then there's a cross stitch at each end of that snowflake. You mess up, you're gonna know. You kind of had that already built in. So that border, I'm okay with stitching all the way around and keeping going that way. But when you have a border like this, and you do want to keep it straight so that you meet up at the corners where it says it's going to meet up. And this probably will meet up that way. I haven't looked at it quite that much. But some borders you have to have it meet up. If you don't, you're kind of like,
Well,
what do we do?
but
She was going to rip
And Lori Holt one time, I can remember, was talking about, she was doing, I mean, this was long ago when she did a video, but she was talking about, it kind of tricked her doing a border, and it was like 3 3 3 3 3 4 3 3. Whoa, you know, and if like
you really,
something's not matching, and it was before you get too far, you know.
There's something
but
to
you
be
do
said
have to look
for looking at your pattern.
Yeah,
before you
I'm thinking I'm
start
just
out,
stitching a pattern.
Unfortunately, especially on the reproductions, and if you just want to stitch, sometimes you can fudge it just fine.
That backwards S tickles the fire out of me. The word states the first S is backwards, but the back S is right.
And if you can see
it's like, that is so cute.
It is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is so cute. I don't know why that just tickles
and
fire
that you named the dog.
Okay, gals and girls. We have a lot to do. Kathy's got to go to the doctor and have those bugs taken off her hand. I mean,
off my finger.
Kind of thing. I got to cross stitch, but the bags that I showed, if you're interested, I think they're going to be $10 or something. A little bit of shipping maybe with them. If you buy more than a couple, it won't be shipping. But anyway, but again, I'm going to make these designs. But I'm having a blast designing things. If y'all, like I say, you want table gifts and you want 10 or something, just let me know. We can come up with something
out.
You know. But I hope you like them. I love them. So.
Well, awesome, Molly. I'm glad I got in here before.
Me too.
Like I said, attic trip for me is coming up. I'm not a person big on crowds, so it won't be the weekend that stuff's going to be put out. You know, they do that. I'm not going to do that. And I say this all the time. I don't need one more thing to stitch on, so I'm not really looking for anything special. And if I do order a couple patterns, which I have, and I'm sure there'll be a couple patterns in there that I'm going to want.
There's some pretty patterns they're showing. But that's what I said.
I got plenty to do to keep me busy until.
Kathy, what I haven't found, not to keep you out too much longer, is the perfect, like, I've got these patterns that I bought in the past. Love them.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get them done. But I really do want, like you're saying, that pattern that has that perfect eagle, the perfect brick
you
home,
do. You know when you find it.
Thing. It's like,
I
got to find the one that looks more. And there's one pattern that I saw, and I can't remember who it was from. It was a big, huge pattern, but the top of it was. I'm anxious
to hear. You're going to have to.
I think it was one you brought over.
Oh, okay.
I think it was one you brought over, but it was, if I just did this much of it, because this was too much, you know, kind of thing. But anyway, so I'm still on the hunt for the perfect pattern. Now, I don't know if y'all know this or not, so be careful. Sunday at market. At the Needlework market, they're having all of the designers, or the ones who are going along with this, not all the designers, but a good group
a
of
surprise.
them. Sunday, if you've seen all the previews, you haven't seen them all, because Sunday, they're all going to be showing a pattern that is only launched Sunday.
I think it's a surprise pattern.
Well, because they were saying, and I understand this, I used to go to markets all the time, and the last day of market, everybody's gone. You know, they're packing up, they're leaving the hotel.
So this will give them something to look forward to.
So they're trying to keep people interested through Sunday. And all.
I feel like there's been a pretty good uptick
I can't wait to see them.
Cross stitch. I would say over the last
Granny, I teased year. When you look up any kind of trends or whatever, which I do.
Yeah.
Granny, what they call granny crafts.
Yeah.
Are
they're
coming back, and you will see more and more and more girls wearing sweaters or
that have
beautiful things with granny square, the granny square crochet things on and all, and a lot more young girls are
picking up cross stitch.
Comfort. It's comforting.
It is very much comforting, and I will say, going through with Ralph and his kidney stones and emergency room visits, it's like, I need something to help calm me down. Yeah, there's drugs. You can do that. But at the end of the day,
this is like a drug. Let me tell you, I'm addicted.
If I can just sit down and focus.
Okay.
So,
Kathy, I love you.
Have
fun at the doctor. Have fun at the doctor.
It'll be good.
Good. And thank you for coming over the other day.
Yeah, of course. We could have done it over the fence, but too dark.
It was too dark. And I'm sorry. I
felt kind of bad.
I just need to show her this or this, and it's like.
I could have come in my PJs. You could have just said, come on over.
Well, it was dark. It was dark. But anyway, okay, y'all have fun. Good
Bye.
Good
Thanks
seeing
for the visit.
Appreciate the comments. If you have not already subscribed, please do subscribe.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
When you'll know. And if you want to share it, share it. Anyway, okay, thank y'all so much. Bye-bye.